did you ever tell me to pin the murder of Viv Graham and Michael Sayers in the cell? And number 3, did you interfere with the gun before you handed it in that killed your brother? And that was the 3 questions David and Paddy just blanked them.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest,
this is why I think
Now I've had words with Paddy. It'll be interesting to see if I can start getting attacked. Because I've never had any
of course you will.
with him. But I'm telling them now, you'll send your trolls after me. You'll watch me kick off. And that Anna, I'm not being disrespectful, Pet. If I got it wrong about the police thing, I'm sorry. But Anna, please be careful. If I can tell him a story what happened at Mannion Court,
you didn't get it wrong about the police thing, Carol.
Get put wrong. Key things get put wrong, repeated wrong as fact. If he's doing that to me, be careful, boys, don't you? Anna, you seem nice enough woman. I think you're a bit naive.
I feel so. Because I can see Paddy's wrapped around her finger, man. And if she's got a personal vendetta against Stephen Sayers or something, I can't stop that. But if she's looking for answers and how these statements get made, she needs to listen to what's actually happening out here, because that's where my turning point was. I was a fan of Paddy. And it's nothing to do with any Masonic things. It's nothing to do with any movies, nothing. At the end of the day, it's the truth. And that was my turning point when I realised, wow, just how fucking bad he was.
I know.
Well, I'm on there this morning because of a story I personally told him, which he had no knowledge of, because he wasn't there. I told him key things were changed, key factors were changed. He changed it from happening in a flat to my house, and he changed it from being ecstasy to crack cocaine. Now, that is from the horse's mouth. I told him the story. He's changed the facts. I've gone on there this morning. Said, no, I didn't tell you that. I told you this. You know what I mean? It's everything up for debate. But I'm sorry, Paddy. You've just shot yourself in the foot because you're just repeating things wrong. Repeat them as the truth. The truth was bad enough without exaggerating. You know what I mean? But I'm going to jump off chat now because I've got things to do today. Good luck to everybody.
But Carol, you know we're here anyway for you anyway, pal. You just get in touch with Emma. You've got us here.
Emma's a good friend of mine, and she gives me good advice, and she listens, and she's.
We know what Paddy's doing. Paddy's just trying to get everybody to follow.
I have my own line.
I said the only good thing that came out of all this, all the carry on we've had with the others, is we met each other on it.
You are the only people who come to help me when we were getting tortured by them Doyles. You were the only people who went, oh, we understand. You were the people who told me I wasn't the only one it was happening to. So I'm indebted to you, and rightly so.
No, you're not.
Anybody who can judge my friendship with the cockerels can go fuck themselves, because they don't tell me what to do or what to think. Anyway, before I start swearing, catch you later, guys.
Okay, Carol, thanks for coming on, pal.
Bye.
See you soon, bye. Yeah, and like it's just vile stuff. Like the only people who see, I know a lot of people from Newcastle, because I was around the scene of, we used to go to Newcastle and Sunderland, and I heard all the stories around that time, as I've told you before, John. And why would somebody be partying when somebody died? Exactly. And then accuse others? Do you know what I mean? There was only one person partying.
Listen, I see it was the same. See the news coming that night that Viv had been murdered. Paddy was the first to jump up and celebrate.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It was only him that was partying. Why? And then why would he pretend?
And I'll tell you another thing as well, right? When John Henry Sayers and that was, bearing in mind, right, they were set up there, a supergrass, okay? So when John Henry Sayers was going to be getting lifed off, Paddy's like, enjoy your lifers, Paddy ordered beer, and this is never the lie, guys, right? He ordered all the beer in, blah, 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 and fireworks and everything, right? And then he heard that the case had collapsed, right? He heard the case, he actually kicked the fucking beer and everything all over the place, and that's never the lie. He kicked everything up in the air because they never get lifted off, because they used a supergrass again, a heroin addict supergrass, and they said the information that came into a phone box, that they went and they changed the goalpost, trying to get, there was never any information came into a phone box, and these guys have got to get fucking lifted off.
And he's celebrating exactly the same MO as what he was like when Paul Cookie got recalled.
Yeah, everybody needs to ask Paddy this, right? Paddy's there saying, like, this Stephen Sayers, he called Stephen Sayers a grass for years. Yeah, Stephen Sayers went done no one but 2 lie detector tests and passed. Right, and this is a question to Anna Conroy. I've seen you in the comments saying, how could you pass a test when you were asked that question? Have you ever lied to your parents? That's a question that's asked. So you tell a lie, so they can. It's 3 questions simultaneously. Yeah. And that's to deter if you're telling a lie or telling the truth. So when somebody, have you ever lied to your parents? Of course, every single person in the world were told to be like their parents.
Yeah,
so you're told to tell a deliberate lie there, so they can then take that off the graph.
Yes, of course.
So when Stephen Sayers passed not 1 but 2 lie detector tests, what did Paddy then come out and say the next morning? Bear in mind, they used the same guy that Paddy had used. the same
Yeah.
company, so he couldn't say, "Oh, corruption." They done a drugs test. He peed in a bloody jar while the camera was
Yeah.
on. He turned
Yeah.
his back, but you could see nothing down his pants. He gave a drugs test and he passed not one but two. Now, so
Yes.
where's all this evidence that the Sayers have grasped Paddy Conroy
Yes.
for all these murders? He's never
Because-
been mentioned. He's never been he's never even been cautioned. He's never been charged. He's never
I
been
know.
questioned over these murders.
I know. And the thing is, he always says his party piece is like, oh, how can it's because they were smoking weed, or it's because Brian can't go on a lie detector test because he's got psychosis, or he's got his new one is I think he's accused saying he's got Crohn's disease, psychosis, something else, and it's like so he can't do a lie detector test. So blatantly, he's trying to put into people's heads, and these people that enable him and follow him and watch him and listen to all these delusions. And sorry, Anna, you included listening to him, is like he's more or less planting this seed into people's heads to say, oh, well, because on this lie detector test won't be true. He's absolutely deluded. He says he's been and done lie detector tests. If he had, they would have been out there. He's done no lie detector tests because he knows he can't pass them.
He can't pass them. And if he's saying he's covered the Brian Cockrell attack and he passed it, he's a liar.
Totally
He's a liar. And I could put my hand in the Bible and say he's a liar.
Total lie. I mean, look what Cookie said. Cookie said, you were all coming unstuck in the house until Glover did what he had to do. And that is the truth. Do you know what I mean? They were coming unstuck because Brian must have been like a fight or flight situation. I've always done a runner from situations, but I suppose Brian's, you get that mad strength, don't you, if you're fighting for your life? And
yes.
And Brian was a big lad then. And like Cookie said, he was pulling the radiators off the wall, throwing them all over. And it was only because there was that much blood coming out of his head where he'd been hit with a hammer by Conroy, that he slipped on the floor, and that's where he was pinned down, and the injury to his leg with a machete.
Yeah. Yes.
But I mean, them kids have been in touch with me who were in that house. I mean, he was 13 at the time, or 14, I think, and he said that he's never got over it. He spoke to me in depth about it. I know he's definitely willing to come on. The man who owned the house has told me. The man next door, an absolutely really respected man from Middlesbrough, who used to have one of the clubs, like the social clubs in the town. He's on Brian's channel saying exactly what happened when Brian came out the house. It was one of the kids that actually was helping Brian to out the house, and the man said they didn't think he was actually going to make it. He had to just drop him off at the side entrance and get one of the porters who we knew to take Brian in. Obviously, they had to get away because they knew Brian wouldn't want police and stuff involved. And I just don't know if you can blatantly lie the way he blatantly lies.
This is to Decca Heggy's daddy, the rat, Paddy Conroy. So, Paddy, you're asking everybody to look into this, you're asking this, you're asking that, you're saying Donna's renting out her kids to the Sayers and brothels and all the rest of it. Let's talk about you, Paddy, yeah? Because at the end of the day, you asked Stephen Sayers to take a lie detector test. He took 2 tests, he passed. Then you said it wasn't allowed. So, I've been speaking to somebody, Paddy, yeah? And I know exactly why you get caught in junction. And I've kept it up my sleeve until now. Because I think it's about time everybody looked at Paddy Conroy. Yeah? So this is what happened, guys. His daughter had friends sleeping over. Yeah? The pictures, Stephen Sayers made the mistake. Paddy wasn't arrested. His computer was lifted. Okay? Maureen, his wife, seen the pictures in the computer. She ran to her next door neighbour, freaking out her fucking head, as any fucking mother would, okay? Her daughter had friends sleeping over, there's pictures on the PC. He blamed Buster. Fact, go and read on it. So, here, Paddy Conroy, yeah? On your court injunction, yeah, the court went in favour of Maureen, yeah? Because of why? Because you were a danger around your own kids. Why? Because of what was on that computer. You bullied and intimidated the fucking women that much, she had to get the fucking Oscars involved to get you out. Fact. Fact. You're a long tail. You're a rat. You're just sticking in there. You've made over fucking 500 videos, yeah, saying that people have set you up for this and trying to set you up for that. Your name's never been fucking mentioned, and I've read it back to front, yeah? The Conroy family was mentioned. You remember when your sister, Paddy, you remember when your sister went to court in a wheelchair, or her grandkids and that round about her, crying, yeah? Because she was doing a wee bit of this and that. Remember? What did you do? Tell everybody what you done to your own fucking sister, Paddy. Tell everybody what you done to your own sister. Because you knew she was going to court and she was getting sent down. All the grandkids and everything, having maybe 8 grandkids or something, they were all rolling and crying, and you were champing the fucking window laughing at her. Yeah? That's a rat you are, long-tail rat. Decca Heggy's fucking daddy. That's what you are. Decca Heggy's daddy. You dirty old rat. Let's have a look at Paddy Conroy, right? So, he says Donna's renting out her children. He hasn't even got a fucking clue what her children's name is. He doesn't even know what age. He doesn't even know her fucking real name. That's how simple this person is. Paddy Conroy refused to take a lie detector test, didn't you, Paddy? Over the fucking child abuse on the computer. Didn't you, Paddy? You tried to blame Buster for it, Paddy. Said it must have been downloading music. True story, Paddy. You're a rat, yeah? You're a rat. And as far as I'm concerned, you're a fucking paedophile. And what you got to say about that, yeah? You got to go and take a lie detector test for that? You fuck. Because that's why, when Maureen asked you to go and take it, you said no. Is that not right? Maureen, I will speak to you again, yeah? I will speak to Maureen again, yeah? Because let's just say, Paddy, what are you going to do if Maureen comes on this fucking thing with me and clears this up? And everybody looks at Paddy Conroy for the dirty, stinking paedophile rat that he is, yeah? You've made over 500, 600, 700 videos calling everybody this, that and the next thing. But nobody's looking at Paddy Conroy until now. Prove me wrong, you long tail. And guys, one more thing. Who are you going to believe, yeah? This lady here, Maureen, yeah? Maureen had no reason to lie. Okay? She was bullied and intimidated. She ran to her neighbours, terrified, angry, she blew a fuse, okay? She was then bullied and intimidated. She then got the police. The police then obviously put them in court, yeah? And the court went in favour of Maureen. And bearing in mind, Paddy's daughter would have been 12, 13 at the time, same age as her friends. How would you, as a mother or father, feel if it was your kids that dirty old fucking paedophile was sitting pulling his pecker at, eh? Things like that don't accidentally happen, okay? So here you go, Paddy. Go and fucking prove everybody wrong that you're not an old stinking paedophile. I already know you're working for the Crown, yeah? Why were you never charged of it, Paddy? Because you're working for the fucking Crown. And a man that called you out for it was charged for it. How does that work, Paddy? It only works one way, Paddy. You're working for the Crown and you're a paedophile, yeah? And if you think Northumbria Constabulary isn't responsible for things like this before, go and Google the fucking convicted child rapist they paid under £10,000 of us taxpayers' money to, yeah? And they had to make it public in 2017, Northumbria Constabulary. Away and Google it, you old long-tailed paedophile, you.